everyone. Let's quickly start without delay. It's a continuation of the series number 6. I don't know, due to some technical glitch, the video of last sessions has been stopped, and I unable to complete the entire the package of question for the class, and I need to resume the things from where we have stopped. So without delay, let's start our today discussion. That still the economic Iyengar committee. So far, so the last session is concerned, we have discussed it, and now we are going to discuss the other different committee with respect to civil service. So Gorwala report emphasized the to delivery the public service. Okay, to delivery of the public service emphasized by the Gorwala report. Gorwala report emphasized the delivery of the public service. Then Fulton Committee, the Civil Service Committee of Britain. So Fulton Committee associated with the Civil Service Committee of Britain. So Civil Service Committee of Britain, the Fulton Committee. Okay, and Fulton Committee also used the term generalist and specialist. Okay, specialist and administrator. Administrator means what? Generalist. Your ISA. Okay, IPS officer. Okay, IS officer. That is how the administrator or generalist. So the Fulton Committee used the term specialist and generalist. Okay. Then first Hoover Commission related to the operation of government. Okay, who associated with the operation of government? Now first Hoover Commission. Okay, it could be asked that operation of government, first Hoover Commission, or they can simply ask the question, correct the pair or incorrect. Okay, that is how important. Then second Hoover Commission. Now generalist rank in main crops. Okay, executive branch. So within executive branch, the generalist branch rank should hold the in the executive branch. Okay, that is the second Hoover Commission. Similarly, your first ARC Commission also associated with the civil service recommendation. First ARC, that Administrative Reform Commission, that you all know, 1966. Okay, so 1966 is the first ARC Commission related to the Civil Service Tribunal for hearing the appeal. Okay, any kind of appeal. Okay, any kind of the dispute with regard to the civil service, with regard to the any kind of controversial appeal to the civil service, then there is a establishment of civil service tribunal according to the first years. It's important because of the current affair. If you are in news right now, there is a the controversy regarding the IS officer Pooja Khedgar. Okay, so that point of view, it's very important to remember that civil service tribunal was recommended by the first ARC. Then Indian Administrative Service as an indispensable one. Okay, so IAS, that is means Indian Administrative Service is an indispensable one. Okay, that means the very important part of the your executive branch. In making an appointment with the State Public Service Commission, the governor should consult the chairman of UPSC as well as the chairman of the State Public Service Commission. So the first years also recommended that governor need to consult with the chairman of UPSC along with the chairman of the SPSC, that is the State Public Service Commission, in regarding to appointment with any in public service commissions. Okay, and it also talks about unified grading structures. Okay, so unified grading structure, this concept also recommended by the first ARs. That means there will be a grading structure for the payment. Okay, that is how the thing. So this is your all about the different committee associated with the civil service. Okay, and that could be very important from the exam point of view if you analyze the previous paper. Okay, then moving to the next question, that what deals with the expansion of effective working time beyond the formal working hours by involving the worker in issue relating to the organization. So this question means what? It talks about effective working time, effective beyond the formal working hour. Okay, there is a formal working hour, for example 10 to 4 pm, 10 to 6 pm in official hours, and effective working time beyond the formal working hour by involving the worker in issue relating to the organization, that is known as what? Taylorism. Option B, it is option B. New work culture, option C, new Taylorisms, and option D, time and motion study. So what would be the correct answer? It was a PYQ of your SSB lecture. So the correct answer of question number 53 is option basically the C, the new Taylorism. So the new Taylorism concept related to the formal working hour, beyond the formal working hour. Getting my point? So let's see the quick solution. what is the terrorism and what is the new terrorism. So you need to differentiate, you need to have the understanding on differentiation between the new terrorism and terrorisms. Okay, so scientific management theory, terrorisms or new public management or new terrorism. So the terrorism timeline you need to remember, or the it is known as SMT, shortly SMT, that scientific management theory. It was originated in 1910s. Okay, and it believed the universal principle that fixed law or the rule. Okay, they believe that there is a fixed law and rule, and every and each employee of organization need to work according to the fixed rule and the law. Okay, 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 and they believe economy, efficiency, prosperity of incentivizations. So their main idea, economy, efficiency, prosperity. So this is how the key word, okay, that you need to remember. And the concept of terrorism associated with the motion and time study. Motion and time study, it is the concept associated with the terrorism or SMT, scientific management theory. Scientific management theory believes in motion and time study. What is the motion and time study? Now work as per the standardized process and time. Work as per the standardized process and time. You need to discharge your activity according to the established standard, established time. That for example, if you need to do a work within 4 hours, then you need to complete that work. That is how the motion and time study talks about, that a work need to complete as per the allotted times, not beyond that. If beyond that, then we will say it is not terrorism. Terrorism talks about there is a standardized process and times, there is a fixed law, there is a fixed rule, and you need to perform the activity according to the standard norms and value. That is the terrorism idea. If I talk about new terrorisms related to the questions or the new public management, so NPM also known as the new terrorisms. Okay, so what is new terrorism? Now NPM, new public management, is also known as the new terrorisms. The timeline of it 1980s to 1990s. Okay, okay, so 1980s and 1990s, the time period or the era of the new terrorism or new public management. Okay, okay, transform the classical theory, it transform the classical theory but insisting market principle. Okay, it talks about the bring change in the classical theory along with the introduce market principle, introduce the norm of the market standard. Okay, okay, it also talk about three principle like economy, effectiveness and efficiency, like your the classical theory. Okay, economy, effectiveness and efficiency, that is how similarity. But major difference, what is major difference in the new terrorism and terrorisms? Okay, how we can differentiate between the new terrorism and terrorism? So unlike the terrorism, new terrorism seek autonomy for public sector management. Okay, for public sector management, your new terrorism seeks autonomy. It has autonomy. In new terrorism, autonomy. Okay, autonomy is a principle of new terrorism. It works beyond the formal rule. Beyond the formal rule, the concept associated with the new terrorism. The keyword you need to remember for cracking the questions. Regulation, fixed law for greater jobs. So there is no as such fixed regulation, fixed laws for the new terrorism or new public management. They can work beyond the formal law, beyond the fixed rule, beyond the fixed regulations for the effective of organization in the activity of worker. That is how the difference. The new terrorisms, they have autonomy, but in the concept of terrorism there is no autonomy. You are a like a machine. You need to do activity in a routine manner, in a as per the fixed rule and standard. That is how the concept of the terrorism. Terrorism talks about standardized process, time, fixed law. Okay, fixed law, rule. Okay, but new terrorism talks about the autonomy. Okay, it talks about the autonomy. It can go beyond the formal rule, for formal regulations or fixed laws. That is no concept of the new terrorism, and the question is about that new terrorism. That is how difference between the time and motion study, new Taylorism versus the Taylorism, and that is how you need to remember. This is how the way to remember the difference between the Taylorism and new Taylorism with regard to your the questions of the 53. Okay, getting my point. Then we will move to the another questions. Question number 54. Science not the rule of thumb, harmony not discord, cooperation not individualism, development of each and every person to one's greatest efficiency are the principle laid by option A Frank Gilbert, option B Henry Fayol, option C F.W. Taylor, and option D John Birk. So you need to find the concept of the science not rule of thumb, harmony not discord, cooperation not individual. This related to whom? Option what? We all know that F.W. Taylor, option C. Okay, F.W. Taylor talks about the principle of the scientific management, or STM, scientific management theory. Okay, so the principle of scientific management, a book written by Taylor. The principle of scientific management. What are the principles? He talk about there are no single element but a combination of the summarized. What are that summarized? And it is a science, not rule of thumb. STM is a science, not rule of thumbs. There is a standard process. It is harmony among the worker and employee. It is cooperations between the worker and employee. Maximum output in process of restricted output. Maximum output, maximum benefit, maximum efficiency. Development of each man to his greatest efficiency and prosperity. Greatest efficiency and prosperity. Development of each man. Okay, that is related to your what? The scientific management theory. That is how the you need to remember, and that is how difference between the scientific management theory and new public management. Okay. After that, there is another question: who had positive influence upon Herbert Simon? Okay, Herbert Simon is a behavioral school of thought to the public administration. Okay, behavioral school to the public administration, Herbert Simon. And who influenced Herbert Simon positively, or Herbert Simon influence from which scholars work? So option A Terry, B Henry Fayol, C L. White, and D Chester Bernard. Okay, what you marked as your answer in examinations? What you marked, guys? So the correct answer of this question, we all know that option D. Okay, Chester Bernard influenced the Herbert Simon in a positive way. What are that things? Now Chester Bernard in his book The Function of Executive 1924, very important. Please mark a note of it. The Function of Executive, the Chester Bernard, and developed an critical understanding to the politics and economy approach. Okay, there is a politics and economy approach. That is a classical theory of public administrations, and it was criticized by Chester Bernard. Similarly, Herbert Simon also influenced from the Chester Bernard. So, from Chester Bernard writing, Herbert Simon also influenced, and he developed a idea against the classical public administration, and he wrote a book, The Administrative Behavior. Who wrote a book, Administrative Behavior? Herbert Simon. And for this book, he got a Nobel Prize. That's a very important thing. A person, if you get a Nobel Prize for writing a book, it's a very important work. It's a very academic contributions. It's a very we can say that the intellectual activity. Okay. So that you have to remember that in which year Herbert Simon got the Nobel Prize. That could be also asked. Okay. So that is how you need to remember Herbert Simon. Then another question: who introduced the logical positivist tradition in administrative behavior? Administrative Behavior itself a book by whom? Herbert Simon. So this is the way or technique. You need to not remember everything, but remember the one technique, that how the thinkers can explain the things. So Administrative Behavior book itself, Herbert Simon, very easy. Then the keyword Administrative Behavior, the book by Herbert Simon, and the method used logical positivist. You need to remember the method used by Herbert Simon, logical positivist. So they can also confuse that bounded rationality. Bounded rationality is not a method. To understand bounded rationality, it's require a method, but bounded rationality itself is not a method, it's an approach. Okay, by Herbert Simon. Okay, that you need to remember. They can confuse you. Then who is the father of development administration? It is a very important question. The father of development administrations. Who coined the development administration? So these are the frequent questions. Option A, Edward Weidner. Option B, George Gantt. And option C, Ewell Goswami. Option D, F.W. Riggs. Okay, one reality people will confuse with option B and C. That who is the father of development administration? Who coined the term development administration? So my dear all friend, the father of development administration is option B, George Gantt. Okay, George Gantt. Let me tell the reality of this kind of questions. So I have prepared a comprehensive sheets which include the different thinker, coined a different term, and the father of the different concept and different idea. For example, father of development administration, and we need to look upon it. For example, the development administration, the term coined by Ewell Goswami. Who coined the term development administration? Then Ewell Goswami. That you need to remember. If they ask the question who is the father of development administration, then you need to remember George Gantt. George Gantt considered as father of development administration, and development administration word coined by Ewell Goswami. Then who is the father of comparative public administration? F.W. Riggs. F.W. Riggs considered as father of the comparative public administration. That you need to remember. Okay guys. Then scientific theory. Who is the father of the scientific management theory? F.W. Taylor. When I talk about F.W. Taylor, the father of scientific management theory. But who coined the term scientific management theory? Louis Brandeis. Okay, Louis Brandeis coined the term scientific management theory, but father of scientific management theory is F.W. Taylor. Like the father of development administration is George Gantt, but it was coined by the Ewell Goswami, coined the term development administration. You need to remember, very very important, everyone. Okay, Ewell Goswami, development administration, coin. George Gantt, father, development administration. DA, just remember DA, George Gantt, father. F.W. Riggs, CPA, comparative public administrations. Then SMT father, F.W. Taylor. SMT coin, Louis Brandeis. That is how the quick way to remember. Then bureaucratic theory, Vincent D. Gournay. Who coined the term bureaucratic theory? Vincent D. Gournay. Okay. The father of modern management, Henry Fayol. Security dilemma word coined by whom? John Hodge. Who coined the term security dilemma? John Hodge. John Hodge, the security dilemma. Similarly, superpower, William Fox. Okay, superpower, William Fox. Word coined by William Fox. Cold War word coined by Bernard Baruch. Bernard Baruch coined the word Cold War. Okay. Smart word coined by George T. Doran. Okay, who coined the term smart word? Smart word, that is the George T. Doran. And you need to also make a note of it, the full form of the smart in public administration. In public policy, there is a different full form. In public administration, there is a different full form. So you need to remember, in the context of public administration, the full form of the smart. Okay, the coin by George T. Doran. Globalization word coined by Theodore Levitt. Theodore Levitt coined the term globalization. The word globalization is coined by whom? Theodore Levitt. Then third world term coined by Alfred Sebbee. So Alfred Sebbee coined the term third world. Okay, the third world term coined by Alfred Sebbee. Similarly, George Kennan coined the term containment. Who coined the term containment? George Kennan coined the term containment. Then the repetitive bureaucracy, the term coined by David Kinsley. Who coined the term repetitive bureaucracy? Now David Kinsley coined the term repetitive bureaucracy. You need to remember. Similarly, the word anarchy coined by William Godwin. Okay. Then John Paul Sartre coined the term new colonialism. What is new colonialism? You need to remember. Now, new colonialism is a form of the exploitation in the independent country like India, Latin America, Africa, okay, Asia, in which the different organization, for example, MNC, multinational corporation, TNC, they actually represent a certain values or the tradition which is in Eurocentric in natures, and they try to exploit in a different way, in a different form in the newly or the third world country. Okay, so that is how concept of new colonialism is a form of the new exploitation by the different Western established organization. Okay, that is new colonialism. The term coined by John Paul Sartre. You need to remember. And the term imperialism coined by Benjamin Disraeli. Who the coined term imperialism? Now it is Benjamin Disraeli. So Benjamin Disraeli coined the term imperialism. So you need to remember what is the difference between imperialisms, what is the difference between imperialism and colonialism. So that could be a probable question in your upcoming interview also. So that is the way. So this is your all important the terminology coined by different thinker along with the father of different concept and theory, be it your development administration, comparative politics, scientific management theory, bureaucratic theory, and different thing. And you need to practice with the help of writing multiple time, and it is very important that each and every time they ask the question from this table. Okay, so that you need to remember. Okay, so you can take a screenshot of it also. You can take the screenshot of this as well. Okay, because it's very important. Then moving to the another question, read the following statement and identify the correct ones. That Max Weber is known for the bureaucratic approach to the management. Henry Fayol developed the administrative theory of organization. Elton Mayo, the father of human relation movement, belonged to the Harvard Business Schools. Harvard Business School. Okay. So what is the correct answer you need to find, and option D is the answer, that all of the are correct. Max Weber, we all know the bureaucratic theory. Henry Fayol, we have recently discussed, the father of modern management, that developed administrative theory of organization. Elton Mayo, Harvard Business School, human relation movement. Harvard Business School, one of the premier international research institutions which is based in USA, and Elton Mayo, one of the professor of the Harvard Business Schools. Okay, very important university. Elton Mayo was one of the lucky enough professor of the Harvard Business Schools. So let's quickly revise the concept. Max Weber, ideal type bureaucracy, three type of authority. What are the three type of authority? You need to remember traditional, charismatic, and rational legal authority. Okay, rational legal authority, traditional, and charismatic. These are the three type of authority by your Max Weber. Sometimes this question also asked. Then he talk about six principle of the bureaucracy, like the formal rule and regulation, impartiality. Then your there are the formal selections. Okay, so these are the few of the principle of the bureaucracy, and this is your tax that you need to make a note of the sixth principle of the bureaucracy by Max Weber. Then Elton Mayo, human relation theory. Okay, human relation theory, Elton Mayo. Then Hawthorne study, he related to the Hawthorne study. Who related to the Hawthorne study? Elton Mayo. And it was conducted in Western Electric Company, Chicago, during the 1924 to 1932. So they can ask the question that the Hawthorne study was conducted in which city of USA? That is, you need to remember, Chicago Western Electric Company. Okay, in Western Electric Company this study was basically conducted, and from there the theory was developed. Okay, then Australian professor at Harvard Business Schools. Okay, he is an Australian professor, and he practiced his profession in the Harvard Business School. Then F.W. Taylor, scientific management theory, SMT. Okay, SMT, scientific management theory, F.W. Taylor. And the concept functional formances. What is the functional formances? Now there is a different there is a multiple manager to uh, to to exercise the activity of the workers. Okay, the direction from the multiple managers, okay, to the worker, that is functional formances. Functional formances, you can simply get a question that related to functional form, related to whom? Now F.W. Taylor or scientific management theory. Henry Fayol, famous for the concept of 14 principle. What is the 14 principle? There are the different principle. Identify the Henry Fayol for the effective organizations or management. And sometimes this question also asks that which is not a principle of the 14-point principle according to Henry Fayol. You need to remember. And he also famous for the concept of POCCC, POCCC, that planning, organizing, commanding, controlling, and the coordinating. These are the POCCC. Okay, that could ask in your examination, that POCCC related to whom, or which of the following is not a principle of the POC: planning, organizing, commanding, controlling, and coordinating. And he also talks about the administrative management theory. For administrative management, he talks about the five component, that is planning, organizing, commanding, coordinating, and controlling. Okay guys, this is your about the thinker and theory related important concept. After that, we are going to see the last question of the today, but not the least. Who observed that increasing autonomy of social system manifests itself in form of the enhanced ability of human society to shape their physical, human, and cultural environment. Cultural environment is the key term for crack this question. Cultural environment, societal systems autonomy. These are the key terms. Option A Elton Mayo, B Affordable Taylor, C Affordable Riggs, and D Herbert Simon. So what is the answer? So answer of this question option C, the Affordable Riggs. And for the maximum information, we need to remember the difference between Elton Mayo and Affordable Riggs. So Elton Mayo related to the new classical theory. New classical theory, Elton Mayo, they talk about socio-economic theory, that the principle should need to according to the social reality or the socio-economic reality. The term work, organization and production. His idea, his theory limited to only a organization, a limited to basically a industry and not the society, that you need to remember. And that idea is based on Eurocentric or Western electric company. So this theory or this concept developed in Western country like Western electric company Chicago. It is a Eurocentric approach, the Elton Mayo. But affordable risks is the thinker related to the behavioral theory. So behavioral theory, affordable risks belong to the behavioral theory, and behavioral theory talk about autonomy, societal system. They believes in the cultural environment. Okay, they talk about cross cultural study. They counter to the Eurocentric theory, and with criticizing the Elton Mayo or extending the idea of Elton Mayo, affordable risks talks about cross cultural study. Now we need to study not only the Western countries environment but also the third world country environment, that the cross cultural study, to study the public administration according to the different culture, to different society, the different culture environment. Okay, the societal framework and cultural setting, a social environment, the keyword for the affordable risk understanding. And he talk about cross national study. Okay, and within his fused plasmatic and refracted study, he understand try to understand different public administration as per the different cultural setup in the different time period. For example, fused traditional society China, the pragmatic society he tried to understand in the context of Thailand, okay, developing country, diffracted USA. So he include the different culture in his own study. That is how known as the cross cultural or cross nationals, or that is based on cultural setting or social environment. So that is how affordable risks. Then after this question, we are going to see the last question of today's discussion, but the not least, who identify the three kind of trend, that normative to empirical, ideographic to nomothetic, and non-ecological to ecological, that means the cultural or social environment or cultural setting. In comparative study of public administration, the three trend, option A Duitwaldo, already option is revealed. So answer of this question option D, the affordable risks, famous for the concept of the three trend in the public administration, comparative study of the public administration, normative to empirical, ideography to nomothetic, and non-ecological to ecological. That means the cultural setting, social environment. Okay, that is how the thing. So you need to remember what is normative, what is empirical. Empirical means the observation, experience, real life field observation, that is empirical. Normative means only based on value, only based on theory, scientific term, different thing. Ideographic to nomothetic means universal, ideography means individual or ideology, nomothetic means your universals. Okay, idea. Okay, and non-ecological to ecological. Ecology means what? The cultural setting, the social environment, that is the idea. So affordable risks contribution in comparative public administration, and he also known as the father of the comparative public administration. In 1967, okay, 67, during one of the meeting of the group, okay, there is one of the meeting of the group, affordable risks outlined the three broad trends in comparative public administration. What are the three broad trends in comparative public administration according to affordable risks? Now, normative towards the empirical approaches, the value to the field based observation, experience, empirical study, data fact figure. Okay, that is how the empirical approaches. From ideographic individualistic to the nomothetic, the universals. Individualistic the universal, that is how ideographic to nomothetics. Okay, from non-ecological to ecological. That is how 3 trend in comparative public administration. To compare the public administration is for the different cultural setting and social environment which is based on the cross national study or cross cultural study. That is how the affordable is famous for this concept. Okay guys, so in this way we come to the end of our today lecture, that complete paper solution of SSB lecture December 2023 series number 6, and I hope you have enjoyed a lot with me in this class. And I would like to request to all of you, if you like my effort, please subscribe, please share with your friend, and please also like my channel. If you like this session, please do like to the sessions. So this is all about from my side. If you have any doubt or any confusion, or you want to uh, want to want to make on make a video regarding your any kind of topic, you can suggest me in the Telegram ID. I will try to load down it and make video in subsequent class. So this was also request by one of the friend to make a series wide video for the PYQ with a maximum information, with a extra information, with a revise entire syllabus. And you can also accordingly make a request to make video on particular subject or particular topic. I will definitely work upon this thing. So this is all about from my side. Thank you everyone for being part of this lesson, and also sorry for because of the technical glitch. Okay, thank you.